Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Corrine Crafts. I hope you are all well and that you have been having some fun making lots of crafty projects. Well, today's crafty project is all about embossing and using acrylic paint. And also you'll see I've used some gilding wax as well. Quite a different style for me, but I do like to mix and match. Yes, I've got a style, but I do like to push myself out of my comfort zone. As some of those quotes say, you know, go with it, play with it, just enjoy the process of making. Really enjoy making this one, and I hope you will too. So shall we have a look at how we're going to do this technique? So this sort of letter pressing technique is usually done with inks. We usually apply the inks to from the ink pad straight to our embossing folder. For this one, I found a 3D embossing folder. It's from Gemini. I had this one without packaging. I don't actually know why, but that is absolutely fine. But you can just get the gist of it. Anything with that 3D works really, really well. I've got myself a piece of card. Now, my card is just regular super smooth card. I haven't gone for watercolour or anything like that. And that is cut just slightly smaller than my folder. I usually cut them smaller because that helps to stop it getting wrinkled and crozzled up. So what I want to do is I've got myself a brayer and I've got myself a little mat. It could go straight onto the glass mat if you wanted to, but I've got myself some acrylic paint. I just had some acrylic paint in my craft stash. Don't know why I bought this, but I did. I just thought purple would look quite nice. So I'm just going to put a little bit onto my craft mat. All of this clears up so easily. Now you've got two sides to your embossing folder. This is your embossed side, this is your debossed side. So your embossed side, you've got a lot of flat area with the detail sort of chiseled in, so that goes down. On the debossed side, it's flat and then comes up. So we want the side that's going down for this effect. So you can see that's going down. So if I run that across, then I go down, run across, right? So that's the side I want to use. So all I'm going to do is pick up the ink, or the paint, acrylic paint, sorry, on my brayer. And then, hopefully you can see that, I'm just going to run it across here. I'm doing quite light movements because I don't want it to go too deep into the grooves. If it goes into the grooves, just get a cloth and wipe it off. So let's just keep loading up my brayer. Now I'm not using the brayer that you've seen me in the past use for getting rid of glue, because that wasn't smooth. It had lots of bits of glue on it. So I wanted a nice, clean, fresh brayer. So this one's quite small, but it's the best brayer I had that didn't have any glue bits on, because all my brayers have glue on, because you've seen me in the past use my brayer to smoothen my cast up. So I'm just going across the top, just picking up any bits that are raised. I'm not pressing, I'm just sort of gliding across. Just take that paint and just go across like that. I'm going in one direction now. I've got it all on. There we go. Just to get that. Now you can probably get a couple of prints out of that. I will take that away and wash that up very shortly. Now, my top tip if you're doing inking or anything like that is put your cardstock on the opposite side where there is no ink or paint. Hold it like that and then bring this one down, because once the paper touches there, you'll start to get colour transfer. So if it moves, it's just going to smudge. So I'm holding it onto there, and then I'm going to flip that down, and then I'm going to hold it tight. Now, I did see Lou Collins, our lovely Lou, doing some effects where she just sort of put pressure on here to get the effect. I want the 3D-ness. So I'm going to pop it onto my plate. It's a 3D folder, so it's cutting plate, magnetic shim, and plastic shim. And all the time I'm keeping the pressure on there because I don't want everything to move inside. And then I'm going to take that up to my cutting machine, and when it comes back, we can open it up and we can see, wow, look at that gorgeous effect. Very different style to how you often see me craft, but I think it still works equally as well. And the great thing is, look at that, it's dry. Absolutely dry. If you needed to do a second coat, you could have gone in, you could actually get that to click back in and get a coat, but I thought of a better way. So at the moment looks okay, but we can make that look better. Gilding wax, Pebeo gilding wax, my favorite gilding wax. So I'm going to take a bit, I really don't know, notice I use my ring finger. I don't wear my rings when I'm at home, so ringless ring finger. If I record one of these after I've just been out, you'll see my rings on, but most of the time I don't bother. Right, so I'm just picking up a little bit. Really, less is more. And doesn't that make all the difference? So we're going to go all over. This is one of those where it's like, trust the process. You must trust the process. So when it's just the purple and the white, you're thinking, I'm not too sure about this. Once the gold starts to go on, and I just say, this Pebeo gilding wax is years old. Look at how little has gone. You really need the smallest amount. And we're going to come across here, and then we're going to come up here. So it's picking, all the raised bits are getting, oh gosh, my finger's aching already. All the raised bits are getting the gold gilding wax on. And doesn't that change it? I love, it's a very sort of rustic look, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely effect. Now, obviously, you could have done that with ink. You could do it with your pen, but I love it because you've got that, it's quite thick. So it really does just stay where you want it to. Pick up as much gold as you want. And I'm thinking the more gold you get, the better it looks. Doesn't that look beautiful? Do that. Just need now remember, this is actually furniture gilding wax, so I would recommend, if you're doing it onto your glass mat or onto your crafting surface, you wipe it off fairly quickly, just because it will mark. And you can even give it a little bit of a buff if you want, because like I say, it's furniture wax, so it really brings it up beautifully. Now, don't worry about your folder. Give that a spritz, wipe over that, and it'll come straight off. It's not going to mark your folder long term or anything. So what I want to do now is you'll notice I often matte and layer straight onto black, just because I think it looks really effective. I love the effect. Now look at that deboss. Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful. So much detail. If you like the deboss, that's another way. You could have inked the deboss and done that, so you'd have had the reverse. So we can then put this on to my black. Let's line that up. Line that up. There we go. Oh, I can feel a little bit of glue oozing. There we go. Bring that round like that. Then I thought about putting it on to purple, so to match it out. But again, that didn't look right to me. It was one of those, watch this, the difference. Put a little bit of glue on. There we go. And I'm going to mat that onto a very fine white layer. Straight helps too. This is why I love wet glue, because I can just move things around. There we go. There we are. Just the smallest, about 1/8 of an inch. That's all it needs. And then a bit more glue. Now I'm going to go in with my purple. I can feel there's quite a lot in there that needs to dry, so give it plenty of time to dry when you've finished. Now, doesn't that look different again? Just by having the purple with the white in between, the purple and the black really makes it pop. Card blank, oops, you didn't see that one, that was me practicing. Card blank is 7.5 by 5.5, more or less, give or take. 7.5 by 5.5, which is not bad when it's a 5 by 7 embossing folder, but that's, like I showed you, I had cut it down a bit. So we can pop that onto there, let that grab. Just need that glue to grab. I'm just going to turn it over. I'm just going to turn that. Now, this is quite unusual for me, side opening card, but I realised quite quickly I could get it out of a single sheet of A4 if I did it as a side opening. Not very often you see me do side opening, but today I did, just to be a little bit more efficient with my card. There we go. Everything's grabbed. Now, that's looking beautiful, and I thought, how could I finish this off? So I found a die cut. It was my birthday wishes from me to you. So I thought I could put that in the middle, and I have stamped out the little bits, grabbed my 3D glue, and I'm going to do this one with wet glue. Isn't that beautiful? It's a very different effect to what I often do, but I really, really like the effect. Very vintage, isn't it? Or steampunk. Yeah, you could go in. Have you got a steampunk embossing folder? That would look amazing, wouldn't it? Just putting on a little bit of glue. I have got a fine tip applicator, and I don't actually know why I'm not using it, because I can see it. It's right in front of me. Never mind. I think I'm mindful that that's very textured, so it needs quite a lot of glue. Tap off my excess glue. Put that on to there. Make sure that grabs, because it's, like I say, it's textured. So I want from me, Berthush, I want it all down here. I'm going to go from me to you. No, don't like that. I'm going to do it at the top. I'm going to split them. So let's go a little bit of 3D glue. And I'm going to put one here, and then I got, let's go from me. I'm going to put the U on next. So I'm going to balance it up so it's roughly the same down there. So then I can put that one on, and then that lets me do my placement for my U, from me to you. I have got that right. And then, you know me, at the moment I'm loving my little black gems. Really, really does help to just finish it off. Just makes, for me, I often think you just need something just to finish off a project. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to put one of those on, oops, not on there randomly. I want it on top of the eye for wishes. There we go. And that is as much as I would do. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Really something a little bit different, but it's all about doing sort of that letterpress, that embossing detail, but this time with an acrylic paint, something a little bit different. I love that effect. I hope you enjoyed that. Nice and quick little video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my channel, Corrine Crafts, and please don't forget to subscribe and click on any of the links if they help you to get any of the bits that you need. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.